Sometimes you read certain quotes and they blow your mind because they explain exactly where you are. And you're like, oh my God, that is exactly how I am. I just didn't have the words for it, but my God, that explains me exactly. And that is something that I read. I realized why it used to be so difficult for me to have consistency in my life. Why I would have 5 really great days, but all it would take was one bad day, one really bad argument, or somebody would just say something and it would trigger a memory, something that I had not dealt with or that I'd not healed from. And it was a wrap for the rest of the for the rest of the week, even for the rest of the month. I didn't realize until I read that quote that I sophisticated my negative system so much because I knew them so well that it was virtually impossible for me to create anything new and not find a way to sabotage it. Because anytime you're building something new, anytime you're in new territory, especially when you don't have a manual and you don't have a map and you have to create it, not even from memory. You're creating something that you have never done before. You're moving down a path that has never been forged before. And you're relying on an internal map that relies on you trusting yourself for it to expand further and further. But when you're working against a defense mechanism that knows you so well, it knows how you think, it knows when to strike, it knows when to ambush you. It's like an apex predator sometimes. It's like, where are you going? Where do you think you're going? Get back here. And the more and the farther you try to move away from it, to try and prove that you can do something or create things that are wonderful and awesome and great, and you can finally become the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be, there's always that internal mechanism. It's subtle and it reminds you, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you are. And this is where you belong. Come back, stay here. Because the more you go out there and the more you try and explore and the more you try to prove that there's something out there that's better than what we have already built and created here, the more of a fool you're going to look like. And I'm warning you. I'm warning you. It's almost like it has this internal voice that knows you so well, and it tells you don't go too far because you could self-destruct. And if you do, who's going to be there to pick you up again? Who's going to have the strength? You're not. So come back and stay here and let's remain comfortable. I have everything you need. I've always had everything you need. I'm going to soothe you. I'm going to continue justifying why you need to stay here, why you need to stay small, why you do not have the wherewithal and the understanding and the strength and the capability of moving out of what you find so uncomfortable. Stay here. That's how cunning that internal negative system is. And that's where self-sabotage lives. That's where paranoia lives. That's where anxiety lives. Those of us who have lived with anxiety for decades probably understand what I'm saying. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe this is a completely foreign language to you. But if you're still listening, it's because there's something that I've said that is slowly starting to make sense to you. That there is a part of you that is playing a very, very spirited role to keep you where you are. It is consistently lobbying against you, and it's going to use every trick in the book to keep you where you are. Your job, your destiny, as difficult and as virtually impossible and as insurmountable as this is going to sound, you're going to have to trust this unknown path. Because the more energy, the more light, the more focus you give it, the more it starts opening up. It's almost like driving down a road that you've never been on before, and all you have are the headlights, and you can only see so far. But you instinctively know to keep going because it's going to lead you somewhere. And with time, that path is going to become more and more. You're going to trust where you're headed more and more. There's going to be a belief that you have that is going to be so strong that this internal mechanism that you sophisticated so well for years and years is going to slowly start losing its power, because it's going to realize, okay, she is no longer hypnotized by us anymore. So we might as well join her and see where this is going. And coincidentally, on that day, that's when you're still going to have bad days, but they're not going to control you completely. This journey of self-understanding, it's very tricky. It can be very tricky to rely on yourself. But the more you do, the more you're going to realize that you have got everything you need to take yourself anywhere you want to go.